Hey everybody, it's me, Artie, gonna do a review, but first, before we get this review started, I want to show a couple of books and zines and comics that I got. So, okay, where to start? So I got the Stanley Mobius Silver Surfer 2-issue collection. The Mobius art is amazing. And then it has these awesome like posters that he. I don't like the Wolverine, but all of them are. All the other ones are awesome. The Thing, Spider-Man is awesome. This Punisher and Iron Man. Iron Man looks badass there. So I got this. It's awesome. Geez, I got this Strange Abominable Snowman book. The world's weirdest subhumans. This is from 1970 and it costs like 30 bucks, but it's just like, I guess, accounts. Like the Hairy Monsters Midnight Raid, the snowman who raided a watermelon patch, the head-hunting horrors of Nahani Valley. That sounds cool. Almasti, where are you? The midget monster of Marin County. I mean, just look at that cover. Just soaked it in. It's so awesome. And finally I got it, so it's pretty awesome. And then I got Strange Tapes, number 7. And I traded my zine with this guy, I think Miller is his name. And he does this cool, like, okay, here's a VHS tape called Extreme Hip Hop Choreography. And he'll just put the video, and he'll, at the bottom he'll have like, is that Scott Farkas from A Christmas Story? He has some interviews, and now he's starting to do tape reviews. So it's really cool. I'll put the contact info below. Okay, god damn it. So on to the movie review. I'm gonna review Meet the Hollowheads from 1989. Have you ever heard of this movie? I remember it must have been, yeah, it was like 88 or 89 when this came out. I read about it in an issue of Fangoria, and I remember reading, like, I still remember that it was like in the movie, like the world they live in, everything was supplied by tubes, like into their house. So food, water, of course. Everything you need is just piped in. So that's weird. And that's all I really remember. But no, I do remember it had a picture, had a jar. It looked like guts and an eyeball in the middle of the guts. Now that I watched the movie, it's actually like a little creature, like a tentacle creature with an eye at the end. And so, like, I was going through Amazon Prime's, free movies, and I saw this Meet the Hollowheads, and I saw it's like the wife, and she's like talking into something and listening, like those old phones. And then I just knew, I was like, that's that movie. And I also thought that Delicatessen was this movie, that I just vaguely remembered it. And then but then that didn't, I mean, I've seen Delicatessen, that's a good movie too. But I was like, that didn't seem right. But I always kind of thought maybe that, just, I get it mixed up in my head. But no, it's Meet the Hollowheads from 1989. Written and directed by Thomas R. Berman. And starring John Glover, Anne Ramsey, Juliette Lewis, Nancy Met, who was in Crocodile Dundee. I don't remember her from that. And it has a guest appearance by Bobcat Goldthwait. And yeah, it's weird. It's like a comedy, but this movie is so weird that to me it's like set in the universe of Eraserhead. And also another movie called The Dark Backward with Judd Nelson, where he has like an arm growing out of his back, and he's a comedian in like this just trashy world. And that seems like an Eraserhead universe movie too. Also a little bit like Brazil and Delicatessen. But yeah, this movie Meet the Hollowheads, it's just so weird. John Glover, who is if you remember him from Gremlins 2, he's a tube guy. He works for this company called Umbilical United, and they're the one that supplies the tubes for everybody. And it's just this weird world that it's just weird. They have their own like phrases and vocabulary. What else did I write? Um, Thinking about it now, they never say it, but it seems like it's post-apocalyptic. Because at the very end, like they're at the dinner or breakfast table, I think, and the dad says, John Glover says something like, "Oh, when I was young, all I cared about was survival tactics." And then they mention this thing, or they talk about the edge. Now you could fall off the edge, but some of the like they have a younger son. They have 3 kids, and the youngest one, he's like 12, let's say, and he doesn't really believe him and his friend like, "Is edge even real?" But this, I guess the edge is real, but they never really explain what it is, other than an edge that you can fall off of. John Glover makes a comment that to his boss that his son was a tube baby. It's just weird, but it seemed pretty thought out. And like the son and his friend, they have to go complain because their tubes are stuffed up, so they go to like the head custodian, which is played by Anne Ramsey. So I watched like half of it like 2 nights ago, and then yesterday I finished it. Second half I was really getting into. I think I was just it's just weird it's still weird watching a movie on Amazon Prime. Take a drink. And then the kids, they're like blackmailing each other to feed Grandpa. And then I was just, what's wrong with Grandpa? Oh, Jesus, I'm just jumping around. So like the oldest brother like swindles the youngest brother. He's like, you got to feed uh, Grandpa for the next uh, trimester or whatever. It wasn't trimester, but and then the youngest son like cons Juliet Lewis into feeding him. And I was like, well, yeah, what's wrong with Grandpa? So finally, like, Juliet Lewis is going out on a date, and her mom gives her this huge syringe, and she's like, you got to feed Grandpa. So she takes this big syringe and she goes down like into the basement. And you see Grandpa sitting down there. When they show him, he looks normal. He looks just like an old guy. But she sticks the syringe in his mouth and like starts plunging it. And then he starts acting like Grandpa from Chainsaw Massacre. He starts moving around. Then he like starts touching Juliet Lewis's granddaughter, and she's like, "No, Grandpa, stop it." So that was weird. And then early on, like the youngest son, I can't remember his name, and his friend comes over, and his friend is that weird kid from Class of 1999, Near Dark, the little kid who's a vampire, and Keanu Reeves' brother in River's Edge, and like they get their dog in, and it's a weird looking dog. Like it's actually like a dog in a costume, but then like the head is animatronic. Like they'll show that it's separate, and the head is it just looks like a almost human like messed up person. And then they like bring it in, and then they start pulling all these like parasites off of it. And they take the parasites and they put it in like this slingshot, and they're shooting it at the wall just for fun. They're laughing. It's a game, trying to hit a target, but these bugs splatter. And then John Glover brings his boss home, who's kind of just like invited himself home to dinner. He's a real sleazebag, like perving all over Juliet Lewis and the mom. And so the whole thing is just that John Glover's brought his boss home to try to get a promotion. But watching it, I want to see the rest of the world. Because it's just in the Hollowheads. It's just in their house, and then like when the kid and his friend go to talk to the custodian, but that's just like a factory underground. It seems like. So I was like, what happened to this world? Like, how did it get like this? Was it nuclear war, or just is it an alternate, Earth? It was really interesting. Now, I would watch it again, but I don't want to watch it on Amazon Prime. I want like the DVD or the VHS, which you could still get. I didn't look at the prices. I should have. But man, Meet the Hollowheads, and also it's not gory, but there is some violence that I was surprised at, like some chopping, and then just some weird, like they messed this dude's back up with this weird machine that the mom was cooking with, and his face that like it gets melted. So it didn't shy away from showing gore, but there's just not that much. So like I'll give Meet the Hollowheads. Jeez, it's really good. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Manos Hands of Fate. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Just weird, just really weird. But it's really cool how like a it could be in the eraser like a nicer area of the Eraserhead world, and the dark backward. I'm trying to think of. I thought there was one more movie that could be set in maybe Delicatessen. It's just weird. It's just so weird. I really liked it. If I get it, I'll show it off. I might have to resort to watching it on Amazon Prime. But if you have Amazon Prime, totally check out Meet the Hollowheads. So I guess that's it. But I'll just. Oh yeah, Strange Tapes. I'll put the contact info